Hi. Today we're the 6th of October and it's 18 minutes after 8 in the night here. Making this recording because the constant trolling was just another brief update. The constant trolling and gaslighting. Gaslighting and the illegal hacking into my devices and illegal recordings and other things that they're being, doing to me to know what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and they all put it as if, well, like, I'm under surveillance because they want to make it seem as if I'm under surveillance because I did something bad. Or, well, they would go about labeling people and they say, okay, well, this is the legislations and guidelines for child safety and blah, blah, blah. And with my experiences that I've been having with these individuals that are doing this to me, they've endangered my life, my children's life, and they've been tracking me for a long time, even before they managed to come up with these frivolous excuses as to why they're tracking me. They get up like these written legislation that's within the Constitution, the UN, United Nations, UNICEF, okay, all child matter guidelines, or all over child matter guidelines. These legislations and guidelines that they have set in place there, and the more I do my work, the more I learn, the more I see the setups. So you have the same legislators that have placed this Children Act, the Child's Act, Children and Vulnerable Adults Act, okay, are the same ones violating the legislation. The same ones, guys. And when you look at it, you see, well, okay, this is happening from the heads of the UN who have set these legislations in place. When you look at it, you see that they're one ahead of the UN, one of the workers. I don't mean like there's a lot of folks have been coming forward and speaking up about it now, that he'd been accused of abusing over 60,000 children. All right, there's complaint underage boys and girls. There's complaint against their workers of that entity. All right, so it leaves one to wonder, like, what's really going on? Because they have these legislations and guidelines, policy to respect the child and vulnerable adults, and these are the same ones that be using things to have you incarcerated off of fraudulent criminal activities they're committing against you. They want to use that to violate you. So it's like they try to punish the victims, like they want to make you a victim twice. So if you start complaining about something, they leave you no option. They want to see you down and out like that. They can get to do whatever they want to do with you. They want to justify that they're under our watch because you have been signaled by social services or by whoever signaled you, when all what they've been doing before all of this ever happened, before I discovered all of this, these people have been tracking me from since I don't know how long, because it's that long that they've been tracking me. Okay, it's more over 18 years that they've been doing this. All right, so they want to make it look as if it's something new. This is nothing new. Okay, what's new that I am now is that I'm having my children, and this harassment that they've been carrying out towards me have been happening even before I have children. Before I had children. okay, before I even conceive whether it was by accident or not. It has nothing to do with the UN. It has nothing to do with the social services because they're not protecting anyone. All right. I mean, and I can go on and on and on open topic and have these discussions wide in the open, right? But it's not what I want to prolong in this brief video, right? What I want to speak up about here now is these celebrities, that the folks that have been taking money from these celebrities. I don't know, they want to use me. They want to use everything and get me involved in these different, have me being constantly tracked and other things like that. So they want to keep me in a ball, in this ball, you know, they want to keep me in a ball like that. They can manage to do whatever they want to do with me, continue using me to make their millions. All right. So you have these celebrities, some of these celebrities that are purportedly or supposedly supposed to be dead or whatever in a crash over drug overdose, whatever, and then you discover, well, they're alive and well. Okay. I mean, there's nothing is bad with them, and they're behind the curtains paying to have others killed too. Yeah. Okay. This is not a joking matter. This is not a laughing matter. This has nothing to do with someone seeking attention or being crazy. This is what I'm putting it out there because you have these celebrities that are supposed to be dead. Okay. You want to know if it's the Walking Dead, if it's like the dead came back to life or something. Okay. And this is not, I'm not talking about no reincarnation. I'm talking about people that's supposed to be long gone years ago, since 2000, I don't know how long. From 19, how long they're supposed to be. 19, how long from they're supposed to be, like, you know, disappeared. But they're here. All right. They're here, they're still existing, and they're still calling the shot. They're still pulling strings. They have their connections in these different parts of the world, and they be spending whatever money they make, and they have their millions, if not their billions, and they be paying to, have others, life snuff out like that. It could spare their own. This is what they do. This is what it's reduced to. This is like, if you want to save your life, you have to literally be in a position to be able to pay persons working within these security agencies and having their connections with these higher ups, UNICEF, UN, WHO, WHO, and these different organizations, right, that are professing to be spokespersons and advocates for child sex trafficking and save the children, when they're not doing anything about it. These are the same folks that are taking money from stars and having funds and I don't know what else more, and enabling pedophiles and criminals to constantly track people for their children, constantly endanger families, cause separation and all these things. These are heads of these establishments that are, have a name like, humanitarians, and they're not doing anything, anything like zero as to what they profess to be against. All right, they're not practicing what they preach. I mean, it's okay if you're going to make a promise or something and you forget, because, I mean, we're not all perfect. But when you're going to go so far as having legislation set in place concerning ill treatment, concerning threats, concerning placing people's life in danger, then you're going to go against that same legislation that you guys have voted in place, then I don't know which one of the 150 men or women that's running this world, that's ruling this world, that's ruling society, is going to really look into that. But I mean, if you're going to go after individuals or have an individual's labeled as being a threat to children, their own children, Okay, if you're going to go after individuals and have them accused of being a threat to their own children or whatever children, okay, and try to bar them because they've been accused of going against the or doing something, some or accused of partaking in some criminal activity against a child or something, just frivolous accusations, okay, because guilty until innocent until proven guilty. It's not guilty until proven innocent. All right, is innocent until proven guilty. And I mean, like, these are the same folks is within a position that that are carrying out, getting off with committing these heinous, inhumane acts every day, and they want to have others accused of what they're doing. I mean, and it hurts. It hurts. It really hurts. It hurts. It hurts a lot, because to know yourself, knowing that you're not the type of person to be doing this thing, and having to justify yourself with your might, and having folks just walk all over you with these different accusations and just try to destroy your personality, your character, destroy everything, label you as being this monster and all these things. I mean, it's very, very, very hurtful. And when you look, you see that they have the backings of persons that are working with these heads, persons working within the United Nations, that they themselves have been accused over 60,000 times of committing disorderly acts towards little boys and girls. And then when you're going to look into these security companies, okay, where they're having these mercenaries that were accused also of carrying out illegal activities towards these different boys and girls. And when you have all these persons within position, including these celebrities that are being accused, and it's coming to light, because who's best to know about their victims, right? So who have these celebrities also that are accused, having other accused and professing to be advocates against child molestation and rape, such as Lady Woohoo, the Lady Woohoo that have her involvement with her connections with persons working in Dubai and elsewhere, that she'd be paying to see how she can get children to use for her ritualistic sacrifice and adrenochrome. All right. When you start looking into these things and you start pinpointing, and you can relate to these things because you were a victim, because they came after you and they set things in place to have you try to do away with you, destroy your life and and everything. When you know that these are the same celebrities, and most of them, once everything start coming to light, they start saying, okay, that person died in a crash, this person died, that person died. That's what happened, right? Because they know you're going to go, the honest ones within society is going to go after them. The honest ones within the 150 men or women that's ruling our society, okay, that want to literally felt that they should punish them for something. So they want to go into hiding. They want to go into hiding to escape punishment or execution. They want to go into hiding. They're going to fake their death, and that's what they do, because they don't want to have to be held accountable for it. That's their way of escape, and they have money to fake their death. They pay the nice casket and everything, get a 5-star funeral, and then everyone is like, okay, she died, a celebrity died. But no, they're like, hell, they're not. They're out here pulling strings behind the curtain, spending money, and continuing their ritualistic sacrifices. They're torturing their victims. They're out here funding and paying to have their victims snatched and tortured. I mean, people really need to take these things into account. These are serious matters that we're dealing with here. And I mean, everything is set up against the victims, against the targets, to make the person seems paranoid or crazy or something. And no one just want to listen and pay attention to what a person's gonna. They just don't care. Because it's the celebrities. It's some higher up somewhere that's, financing them, easy pocket piece for those in authorities, and then everyone just turn a blind eye to whoever, crying out for justice. All right. So aside from all that, being trolled and mess around and mess with, they be dropping these subliminals, okay, she's going to prison. Like, yet I can't find or still can't get a call. Someone call me and let me know, well, okay, bring what you have, come with what you have, let's see what is it you have. I mean, like these mails, these email exchange that they were having, these folks that were having, pertaining to me and my children's situation, it's numeric and it can be traced back if they want to. I mean, I'm not a I'm not working for law enforcement. I'm not a cop. Okay, I'm not an informant. I'm not working for law enforcement. But if I could know these things, if I could investigate these things, if I could do my research and unearth all that's been happening to me and the plans that they had set up for me and my children, then those that are working within authorities, those that are working for law enforcement, can do the same too. I mean, they're in a better position. They have all the technology, all the equipments to get it done, right? But it's a work I had to do by myself. Okay, a work I had to do by myself. I had overnight. I had to become my own private investigator overnight, and with the assistance of some genuine folks that really were out for me, that felt for me. Then I'm very grateful. I don't know exactly who these folks be by their names or whatever, but I'm extremely grateful for the assistance you gave me indirectly. Okay, so thanks a lot, but it's not going to stop there, because it's as you have genuine victims and people that are targeted and are being used every day, and against their consent, against their will. They don't even know what is it that's happening to them. It's like the puzzle F up. That's one of what one of the when they first started overtly targeting me. That's what that was a catchphrase from one of the perpetrators. She keeps saying, well, okay, it's a puzzle F up. But it's more than a puzzle F up, because it's every day you discover something new and there's more missing pieces to the puzzle. All right. So it's like you dox someone into, you just dox them to death. And, a lot of people just die not knowing how they die. I mean, if it wasn't for some nice, genuine folks that I'm extremely grateful for, okay, if it wasn't for me doing my own personal research, I would have died a long time without knowing who's responsible and how. All right. I mean, that was the case for my siblings then. That's what happened to my siblings. But now I'm in a position to know all that and discover all that. I'm thankful to all those who assisted me. But it just don't stop there, because there's no one that's in a position, and everyone that's in a position to put a stop to this and have the persons that are involved and that be kind of these things towards these inhuman acts, okay? Like kidnapping children and feeding them poop balls and all these things. These different stuff that I'm learning, every day. Every day something new. That one of their main, hire her to that they hire to carry out these things. She have children, kidnap children, and she be feeding them poop balls. Like, seriously, these are the sick thing these folks be doing, and if they get like they get some kind of high off of that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And that's what happens when they know, okay, you're not an easy target and you're going to speak up about these things, then they will come after you. They're going to come after you. They're coming after you. They're coming after you to have you killed and make it look like if it's of natural causes. Well, I'm speaking up about it because, it goes from these cops, these different security agencies and all these, it's a giant corporate plot, and it's just too much for a few individuals to like discover and just speak up about it. But I mean, like if me, I don't have the degrees as well. Okay, you're working for law enforcement and you're doing this investigation or things like that, and you discover this. It's not my job, but it has become my job because I'm the victim, right? So, and they want to make it look as if, no, she's not. She's working for us. I'm here being experimented on nonstop, constantly. It never stops. And they're my children that's involved. That they be trying to mess with our lives nonstop. But with all that, I still try to my best not to feed into it. But it's beyond me as to how everyone just turns a blind eye to these atrocities that's been happening. And they will have their victims accused. So accuse the victims, and they get off at accusing their victims because they have their connections with the UN, persons working for them at the UN, and the UN itself, persons working at the UN itself are involved in these committing these inhuman acts. Okay, over 60,000 children. This guy's been accused of fingling boys and girls, and then you have the other mercenary security company, okay, that's been involved also in these type of things. And when you look at it, you say, well, okay, that it's not you can't say, well, okay, it's just all fabrications, or persons are coming out and saying things just to get attention, you know. And these officers are trying to feel okay with just take whatever little money they haven't put in their pocket to protect these celebrities that are founding and paying to have people snatch and use for their ritualistic sacrifices, organs, and all these type of things. They showed me just recently. They showed me a box, a frozen heart, Okay. They be trolling me nonstop with these things. It's a long time that they've been after me. It's a very long time, a mighty long time. And they said, okay, you have no way to land. You have no place to call home. Nobody wants you anywhere. Okay, because this has been happening even back, as I mentioned, even back in my homeland. They be doing these things. These things have been happening even back in my homeland, right? So it's like, you have nowhere to go. You can't do this. You can't do that. You know. And it's like, you know, you don't have no family here. You have no relatives here. You're here surviving, you know, by your husband and your children. And the ones that are out to destroy, they make it look as if, well, like you're just making stuff up to get attention. And they have all type of things, the tactics they would use to justify why they're tracking you nonstop. They have ways that they would justify with the child legislation and guidelines as to why they would have that teacher that looked like a damn cricket and her husband that looked like an old, I don't even want to use the word, gathering information off of my children, and it were literally stalking us at that school, stalking me. All right, so they have all of that covered within the legislation and guidelines with the Child Protection Act, Children Protections Act, right? They have that covered. Like everything, these folks know exactly what they're doing. They know they have every, it's like, you know, everything that they've cooked up. They know exactly what they're doing. It's like reverse psychology, guys. All right, it's reverse psychology, because everything that they do, they have something to switch it around to suit their agenda. All right, they have the teacher that was gang stalking me, and these teachers that were partaking in harassing me. All right, they have justification for their actions also, because that's within the child safety protection, safeguarding children legislations, policies, and procedures. All right, they have that. They have why they would hire these redundant neighbors or the community watch to trawl you around. That too is it. Policy, procedures, guidelines, and, you know, child protection, safety, blah blah blah. These redundant folks that would have following you everywhere, you know, they have that too covered. It's like everything, they literally know that they're going against the Constitution, because what they're doing is unconstitutional, it's inhuman, and they have these legislation set in place to cover all their demonic actions and behavior. All right. Everything that they have from A to Z is well covered, because this is what they do. They know exactly what they're doing, and they know what they will use to get protected, and to give themselves, to enable themselves to continue harassing the targets. Now they want to continue harassing their targets and messing with individuals' lives, they have these legislations and guidelines to mess with you, to make it look like, okay, it's legal, it's legal. No, hell no, it's not legal. There's nothing legal about filming little boys and girls and adults in the privacy of their home, what they eat, what they sleep, what they do. Okay, and then we'll mention about the data part also. Violation of the Constitution, and then they want to justify their actions by saying or by proving, well, okay, read the legislations and guidelines, policies and procedures, and blah 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 blah. The same folks that are out there wreaking havoc, separating families, sponsoring poverty and all these inhuman acts, atrocity. It just disgusts me sometimes. I hardly have any word to describe these folks that are behind these operations and setting these policies and guidelines in place. To what? For what reason? To violate it themselves. The same ones that are claiming to be the protector and, helper and sponsor of education, child protection, and families is violating the Constitution. Can you imagine that? That's a very good front they have, because no one will question it. People hardly question it, okay? It's easy. It's like you put up a signboard saying, well, here we have, here is a toy shop. You put up a signboard saying, well, okay, this is a toy shop in front of a store. And when I give a customer, for example, enter in the shop, it's in fact a butcher shop. So there's no toys in there. Well, this is an example of how these people, they have these signs out there, okay? UN, United Nations, big United Nations, philanthropic organization and foundation. We care for humanity, and no one will look into it because they have these names, the names that they give themselves. People would think, well, okay, who's best to put up these things, but to shield themselves behind philanthropy. They're shielding themselves behind philanthropy, because what are they doing? These are the same ones that are endangering little children. I mean, people are being targeted and trafficked every day without even knowing. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of families out there that's being trafficked. I mean, grown people don't even know that they're being targeted and trafficked and sell to the highest bidder to carry out non-consensual social, military, and governmental experiments and other things like that. To these chemists and medical institutions and pharmaceutical companies and other things. They using people as guinea pigs, and it just goes from one thing to the next, and then the targets now is being discredited from left, right, and center. And when you try to explain, like bring up these topics, now you'll be going all over the place, and I'm extremely sorry about that, because I try to get out as much as I can. Because this is just ridiculous, to know, well, okay, you have to be enduring these things. Why the same one that's violating the Constitution, plays these laws within the Constitution, are violating the Constitution while having you tracked as if you're the criminal. All right? So we have these celebrities and other teas that are out there pretending to be gang stalked and pretending to be targeted individuals and pretending to be targeted, whatever, Sibley, and when you look at it, that they're part of everything that's happening, because they be nonstop on all my devices, everywhere, trolling me in these different groups and these different pages, and everything is just contaminated right now. I can't even get to change my password because they went into my setting and they messed up my password and other things. They just be having a field day with my devices. I sound like I can't do anything to stop this from happening, but it's a total waste of time. They just drain. It's exhausting, because every time I make some changes, go right back and they do the same thing again. Because why? They have ways in having people tracked, and they'll try to make everything that they're doing that is highly illegal, they'll try to make it look legal because it's written within the Constitution that they're violating. These violators of the Constitution and Human Rights Act, they're there, and that's how they're making their money in having people persecuted, like, but there is going to come. And it's going to be very soon too. And the innocent and all those who sat back and then said nothing and then doing nothing about these things that these folks be getting away with. You didn't know what they're doing, and they sat there and they didn't say anything, nothing. They just allowed it to happen. I mean, the innocent is going to pay for the guilty. And it's not like they could run and hide and go anywhere, It's not that they can escape their retribution. There's nothing that they can do, right? It's closing in, and I'm happy about it because, we've had too much. We've had enough to deal with already. We've had enough. And you see, some of you social services workers, I'm not accusing all you social services workers, but I was accusing the one that I've been that pretending to be assisting me and my children anyway. You see these social services workers that I had the misfortune of having to come in contact with from 2014 to 2015. See, the social services workers that were messing around and messing with me and endangering me and my children's lives. You guys are going to get it. It's not, I'm not going to do you anything, but you should be ashamed of yourselves. You're going to start using innocent men, women, and children to make money and have them persecuted to justify your actions and create disturbances within people's lives like that and separate families. And wreak havoc, and then you try to threaten me now with prison time. Nothing. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, but you're the one that should be behind bars. No one else. It's no one else that should be behind bars but you guys. Because you get it off with crimes and you have your backings because why? You see us as being less human. You don't take what we deserve to live either. You don't think that we should have a free will to look for jobs. You don't think we have a free will to have an education without being tortured and tormented and being accused of being these slow, no good, I don't know who more, trying to make us look as if we're social outcasts or social dependent, as if we're These are some of the things that these folks be coming up with just to use others as cash cows. It's ridiculous, and this is how they be benefiting themselves. And then they want to say, okay, well, we have debts to pay. That's the excuses you will hear from them when they decide, well, okay, we're going to drop one or two subliminal messages to you. That's what you will know. That's what they will send you. Okay, and aside from that, they'll let you know, okay, you're going to jail. Hurry up and kill yourself, and these are the type of things. But no, we're not suicidal, and nobody isn't going to kill themselves. No one isn't going to harm themselves. Okay, no one ain't going to do that because I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna make sure that everyone is well grounded and everything. You see all the stuff that you be doing to push these and have try to create a negative outcome in our lives. I rebuke it. I rebuke you and your negativity, and a day is gonna come and you guys will have to face up for each and every wrong that you've done, and that includes my family, my siblings, me, and everything that you've caused. All the wrongs that you've done, you're going to have to pay for it, because the world is waking up right now to what you've been doing, being misled, lies you use and manipulate the masses, your non-consensual experiments and all these things that you do, and yet you show no remorse. You show no sympathy, no nothing. You cares nothing. You're just soulless like that, and that's how you think you are. You're going to continue getting off of these things. The 150 men or women that's running society there must be one or two good within you guys. I know that. So look into your own. Look into the ones that are doing it. Question them. Question your comrades. All right. Question your affiliates. Okay, question those you are affiliated to. All right? Because there's no lesser evil, but at the end of the day, you still need to question your own actions. It's disgusting, it's despicable. I mean, like, we're here to live, and everyone have a right to live. That too is written in the Constitution. All right? And that too, you guys have been violating. So question yourselves. All right? Okay? So with that being said, now I'm gonna have to see how best I can manage to get these trolls off of my back again, because I've been blocking nonstop. Blocking one, it's one account after the next. I have to just be blocking nonstop. Sometimes I will wake up with these different men and women on my account, and I didn't send no friend request to anyone account. And it goes from Tanzania to Madagascar, Reunion, Zanzibar, where's the other one? The Philippines. It's just everywhere. Kenya, Sudan, all over the place. These are the social engineers. The social engineers that I be talking about. It's social engineering on a high level there. Because no one, as much as I keep speaking about it, no one isn't doing nothing, and I just have to be fighting for myself, It's not like I expect anyone to get up and do anything for myself. For me. I realized that I have to do things for myself a very long time ago. And they know that. They're afraid that I'm going to do something for myself now. They don't, because whatever they've already lied about and placed out there, okay, they want to make it look as if, well, she's incompetent, she's not capable of this, she's not capable of that. Okay, and the side effects of the stuff that they be projecting, these different gases and chemicals they be projecting towards me, be causing, these different, negative effects in my life sometimes. Okay, but that's not what I'm gonna allow to stop me from trying. I keep trying, and it's exhausting, because it's hard when you see you have so much people behind you, mostly women. If you done nothing to these women, most of these women, I don't even know them, did nothing to them, and you have the barrage of women and Trump supporters. It's not as if I did anything to Donald Trump. I don't even know. I'm not that much into politics. I could care less. But these different politicians, supporters, and other persons that just be on my tail all the time and coming up with these lies and trying to justify their actions and as to why they were stealing from me and selling my children on the dark web to pedophiles. I mean, it's quite ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but I'm still here, and this is what it is. This is what it is, because I'm just disgusted by everything, and to see, well, okay, those that are really have, sign an oath to protect and serve are basically serving themselves and not protecting anything. All right? You can complain. Once you're targeted, you can complain from now to never every morning. Okay? Can walk all the way from where you're living all the way to Timbuktu and protest. Zero isn't being done about it. So you can't wait for nobody to get up and do things for yourself. You got to do it for you.